welcome to the Y'all Didn't Tell Us podcast. I'm Mariah. I am 33 years old. I am a wife. I'm a mom to a 13-year-old girl and an 8-year-old boy. And by day, I'm a pediatric nurse practitioner. By night, I'm an exterminator. Let me tell you, Alysse, we recently had a gnat infestation. Mm-hmm. And when I tell you infestation, there was a gnat in every room. It wasn't like swarming and like in groups or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But everywhere I went, I could see a gnat. And I could not figure out what was wrong. I almost sold my house or like burned it down. One or the other. It was bad. Okay, so I looked for the source. I threw away the fruit on my counter, which wasn't a lot because I don't like stuff on the counter. I even threw away the fruit in the refrigerator because I was like, this is too much. I don't know what's happening. I threw away my flowers. They were still everywhere. So I set some traps in every room of the house. I was catching that, so I felt good about it. But they were still swarming. And I was like, Austin, I cannot live like this. Like, drop the paperwork. We're moving. Anyway, so one Friday I decided, okay, I'm just going to clean out my pantry because it's looking a little cluttered. Mm-hmm. I cleaned out my pantry and I got to the bottom and I looked in the back right corner. There were 3 bags of potatoes that I forgot about. Okay, in my defense, I don't cook potatoes often. We have baked potatoes every now and then. But oh my gosh, I forgot they were there, and that was the source. So there was a bag of russet potatoes. It looked like a science experiment. There was like trees growing out of them. And then there was a bag of red potatoes and a small red potato bag. And that's where the gnats were. There was liquid involved. When I saw it, I like ran outside and I was like, Austin, I need your help. So he came and like got all the stuff out. And then I like scrubbed everything top to bottom. I set some fresh traps and I'm happy to report that they worked. I have not seen a gnat in over a week. And I'm a successful exterminator.
I'm happy for you.
Yes.
That sounds horrible.
If you need my services, just let me know. I'm running a special this month.
What's the special?
Free advice on how to get rid of gnats.
How to do it yourself.
You use apple cider vinegar, and it has to be apple cider vinegar. And then few drops. A mother?
No, with the mother. You know, like apple cider vinegar has that gook at the bottom. That's called the mother.
Oh, I thought you were saying like you need to get your mother to do it.
No.
Like, what is happening? No, you can do this yourself. Okay, apple cider vinegar and a few drops of dish soap. I swear by this regimen. Like, I'm about to put my label and patent on it. It's called Nat Be Gone because them gnats gonna be gone. Okay,
hilarious.
I'm done. So yes. How are you today?
Well,
and what's your name?
I'm Alysse. I'm 33. I'm a wife. But did you say what you were by day? Yes, you did.
Yes.
By day, I am a director of special education programs. And by night, you know what? I am one of the characters from Bridgerton.
Oh,
I'm always going to relate my person to what I'm currently watching because one thing about it, I'm going to watch a TV show.
Mm-hmm. What episode are you on?
I'm on episode 2 only because I fell asleep. I was tired. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm fighting fires all day.
Wait, are you supposed to be further? Like you're supposed to be done?
No, I should have watched all 4. The plan was to watch all 4 episodes.
Oh, I only got through 1.
I got through 1 and 1/4 because I was asleep. But anywho, I am a character from Bridgerton.
Which one?
I don't know. I knew you were going to ask that. I do not know because I couldn't think of it while I was sitting here. But just know that by night, I am in a dress and I'm headed to the queen.
At the ball.
At the ball, period.
And I am the queen. So.
Yes, absolutely. What's in your cup, sister?
Oh, today I am drinking water from a Starbucks cup. Water is very thirst quenching. It is delicious and it helps me stay moisturized and hydrated.
Yes.
And it's very boring.
Mm-hmm. You can add a little lemon cucumber.
This is plain water.
I love it. In my cup is probably a matcha. Probably is crazy. Oh! It's going to be a matcha today. It's going to be a matcha. I'm obsessed.
It's not a matcha.
Don't worry about what is in it. I mean, it's a matcha. It's a matcha with a little strawberry sip and a little bit of berry. And it's warm. I typically drink them iced, but being that this is the cup, it's warm today. All right, y'all, we're back with another episode of What the People Didn't Tell Us. And today we have a special guest. You are familiar if you watched last week's episode. And I'll give it to Mariah to introduce our special guest for the day.
Yes, because if you tuned in last week, you know that my uncle is a special guest, my dad's younger brother. I was about to say, Makai calls him my dad's twin, but the lighter one.
They look just alike.
He's the lighter twin. But anyway, he is back. And besides being a wonderful uncle and amazing human being, he's also a financial advisor. So we brought him on in. Okay, this is Damon Oliver. He is the husband to my lovely, beautiful Aunt Michelle and my cousins, Jessica and Wayne's dad, and also Jireh's godfather, right? I'm getting all of it today.
Name.
Yes,
Jireh.
Jehovah Jireh.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I love that.
I digress. Hey, Jireh. Hey, girl. Tell her we gave her a shout out. Anyway, he was born and raised in Tyler, Texas. Wonderful East Texas city. He moved to Bryan College Station in 1996. He's a former Marine, former Bryan police officer for 22 whole years. Graduated from Texas A&M University. Whoop. We're going to continue. Every time I had to say that, I'm like, I feel it coming. Okay. Graduated from Texas A&M University. Tell me again, your major was University Studies Leadership with a minor in financial advising. Planning, yeah, I got it. Okay, and then last time when he was here, I didn't get to read y'all all his credentials, so I want to tell y'all that he also holds a Series 6, 7, 63, and 65 securities registration, as well as a life and health insurance license. So if y'all are interested in any of those things, he's your guy. Go ahead and give him a call. Anyway, he currently works for Fundamental Wealth Advisors. And what did I miss?
You said I moved to Bryan College Station.
Oh, he moved to Bryan.
I moved to Bryan.
Period. Not the College Station part, just Bryan. Y'all know it's a difference. If you've been to Bryan, you know it's a difference with College Station. Bryan and College Station. Okay. All right. Alysse is actually going to lead us in our conversation today. So I'm going to let her take it away.
Yeah. So this is a episode that is going to just follow a question and answer format, because there are just some key points that we discussed off camera that we think that people just need to know if you're starting from ground zero, or maybe you're on ground. 27. Did they say ground 27? Did they say that? Why is it ground zero? We're not. You might know.
Is that like sea level?
Oh, anywho, moving on.
Right.
Excellent.
Is that an army? Wait, is that a military term? Ground zero?
Ground zero.
Is it a firefighter term or a military term?
You know, that's a good question. I don't really know. It's just one of those terms that you've already heard. Ground zero.
Yeah, I would think ground zero is ground. That makes sense. Anywho, it's going to be a question and answer format just based off of the things that I talk so fast. Based off of the things that we as millennials think are important to discuss, and things that everyone needs to discuss. Starting with emergency funds. Now, Mr. Demond, please tell us, what should our emergency funds look like, or how should we calculate how much emergency funds we need?
Yeah, what kind of emergency we talking
like,
about?
I can do
I broke a nail, or
like a little 500 maybe,
or like there's a leak in my attic. Like, what kind of emergency?
Is this sold? Okay, good. Carry on. You better sing.
Anyway.
Oh, we was about to have church. I was about to take the next note, but I'm not going to. Y'all sound good though.
Well, first of all, what is an emergency fund, right? Just think about that for a second, and just think about the fact that it's beautiful down here today. Sun is shining, but we know that it's going to rain, right? So we probably got an umbrella in the car, right? Because we know it's going to come, right? We know life is going to happen. And so when you think about an emergency fund, just think about it from that aspect. Life will happen. How can I be prepared for that? Right? And so what does that life look like? Does that look like a blowout? Okay, on your car? Does that look like a AC unit going out of your house? Does that look like a unexpected hospital bill? Some of the kids, done broken a bone or something like that. What does that look like? Right. So think about all those things, those what ifs, right? But I also like to say, when it comes to emergency funds, think about realistically what has happened in your life over the last year, 2, 5 years that was really an emergency, right? I see a lot of folks, and they'll have an emergency fund with $60, $70, $80, $100,000 in it. It was like, what has happened that you think you need that much money sitting in the bank, right? You know, an emergency fund. So again, think about that first of all, you know, because sometimes people will have an emergency fund and then they'll start hoarding, right? You know, because the sky's going to fall, right? You know, but think about this, you know, you think about it from an aspect of, okay, well, what is my income? Okay. And then what does it take to operate the household? Okay. Right? So to keep gas in the car, to keep the lights on, right? You know, to keep the cable paid, to keep the school paid, or whatever, those things. What do I need to do to keep those things going if I was to, let's just say, what if I lost my job? Okay. What if I'm out of work, you know, for 6 months, right? So those are some of the things that could happen. But most often, those kind of things that we see or just, you know, the AC or the blowouts on the car breaking down. I just need some cash to get those things fixed. Mm-hmm. So, but think about what it takes to run the household, right? And it's not, again, think about what you make, what you bring home every month. Most folks don't spend everything to keep the household running, if you're honest, right? So let's just say, for instance, it takes $3,000 a month to run the household. Now, I know that I'm just throwing out numbers there. Yeah. But if it takes $3,000 a month to run the household, then I need to think about 3 or 6 months emergency fund, right? So just take that number and multiply it by 6, right? You know, so $18,000 or $20,000, right? You know, 100. But as we were, you know, as we always say, you have to start somewhere though, right? Because again, when that emergency happens, where's the first place do you run? Do you run to your savings account, or do you run to the the credit card to go pay for those things?
I run to Jesus. Help fast, because Jesus paid it all. I need you to pay this one too.
He paid it all.
But yeah, that's what you want to consider, that emergency fund, because again, when life happens, I just need some money to cover those things. Because if I'm already struggling and life happens, that emergency happens, the first thing or the last thing that I want to do is go create more debt to get out of those things. Now, go ahead. Just one other thing. Me personally, I have noticed that the more emergency fund you have, when you have an emergency fund, emergencies kind of stop happening, right?
So that's the cheat code. No wonder I'm doing it all wrong. Okay. So emergency fund is separate from the savings.
So the emergency fund, what you want to do is just kind of think about these things. There's money that I'm going to invest, and then there's money just for emergency, for protection. Okay. Right? And then there's money that I'm using or saving up to pay for something. Right? Okay. I'm saving up for, a kid's bike. I'm saving up for Christmas. I'm saving up for whatever the case. You want to have those things separated. The emergency fund just sits there. That's not something that we play with, that we pull money out of just because. It should just sit. And then the next savings account should be for those things that we're preparing to buy. Okay. And then then the other account should be actually investing. Gotcha. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I have a question. The emergency funds, where should you probably just answer this, because I heard you say it should just be sitting, but it shouldn't, because you hear a lot of times in people on TikTok, I guess, saying you shouldn't just let your money sit there. Should it be just in a regular old savings account that doesn't get any interest or anything back? Under the mattress. Yeah, in the shoebox.
So I have a little cash in my safe, right? Just in case the ATMs go down, everything. I have a little cash, right? But the rest of it is in a high yield savings account, right? So you can do that. So you'll get a little something off of it. Okay. But again, you want to consider this, right? Protection, right? It's insurance. Mm-hmm. Insurance is going to cost you money. Insurance doesn't necessarily make you money. Mm-hmm. So if you got that money invested somewhere, it could be, it could be doing great. But what if it's a down market, right? Got it. And we're gonna violate the cardinal rule of buying low and selling high, right? So we're gonna be selling. We bought high, and then we're gonna be selling low when we need that money. So high yield savings account is a
Got
good
it.
place to go with that.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Is a high yield savings good? You know, the issue, and so probably you should keep some cash in a regular old savings that you could have direct access to, because I've run into the issue of I would have to transfer my high yield savings, and it takes 24 hours.
Yes.
It takes 24 hours.
They said, okay, tomorrow.
Okay, so then I got to call somebody. Say, hey, I'll pay you back tomorrow. So I see that, though. That's a good point. Okay, I love that. And then and we're just gonna go down the list because we want to hit it and quit it. Always FICO scores. FICO scores. We aim for a perfect FICO score, but what tidbits can you give us that can help those of us that will not have it anytime soon?
Well, I think the thing that the things that people didn't tell us is that a FICO score does not equate to wealth, right? I had an 800 FICO score. I didn't have any money, though. I didn't have any wealth, right?
Wait a minute.
Hey, that.
But you multiplied it by 2. Like, tell us.
But again, I had an 800 credit score, but I didn't have any wealth, right? So what you want to think about is a FICO score, right? All it does is say, how do I interact with debt? How do I borrow money and pay it back? That's all it really tells me, right? But my net worth, right, what I own minus what I owe tells me what I'm doing, what I'm really doing, where I stand financially speaking, right? My financial health. Because again, I can have an 800 credit score, and I did, right? But all I had was a lot of car notes and motorcycle notes, and I had credit card notes. I had a lot of deals out there. And so the credit score only said, well, Damon borrows money and he pays it back.
He gonna pay it back though. I mean,
That's
I feel like that counts for something.
You
You're
didn't
reliable.
say he has some net.
Exactly. It doesn't have a net worth. Because here's the thing. Think about this. If your great Uncle Rupert passed away today,
I don't know nobody named Rupert.
you might have one. He's out there, right?
I went to a kid's school with a kid named Rupert, actually. Now that
I
you said
know
that.
you didn't. Okay.
But if you had a great uncle, great uncle, whatever, that all of a sudden passed away and they thought about you and they dropped $100 million into your account tomorrow.
I receive it, Jesus.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
I knew it was coming. I knew it.
What happens to your FICO score?
Nothing.
Right? So again, it doesn't.
So
FICO
shift the
score
thoughts.
doesn't show wealth. So we have to have a change of mind about: are we going to chase a FICO score, or are we going to chase wealth?
Got it.
So.
Wow. Okay. That's enough for me. Okay, and then moving on, I want to talk a little bit about, you mentioned car notes and motorcycle notes and notes. So with this mind shift of thinking net worth outside of all of these notes, give us some insight on what are your thoughts about car notes and, all of these bills compared to our net worth, really.
Right. Well, I'll preface it with this, right? Car notes are not evil, right? So don't get me wrong. If you have a car note, they're not evil.
Oh, thank goodness. Whew.
Let me just tell you what I personally did for 18 years. I loved that new car smell. I love that new leather smell, right? So I paid some car notes. Now today, I think they were saying if you look at new car payments today are roughly $748 a month for 6 years. Okay. Now I remember that this one of my clients was sitting in my office. One of my clients was sitting in my office and she had a car. It was a nice car, and she was paying like $750 a month on this Tahoe, right?
Ooh, I've always wanted to drive a Tahoe.
Not anytime
I
soon.
won't ever be.
Not anytime soon.
What's crazy is she came back for the next meeting, and we were going over her numbers, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, that's changed now. I got a new car." Why did she get a new car?
The note was less. Oh, I thought we was going to.
Seems to be a little bit higher.
Going the wrong way.
She went from $750 to $950.
I would
Was
never.
it an Escalade?
I think it was a Cadillac.
Okay, now so sometimes you gotta.
No, you don't gotta.
Yeah, you don't gotta.
Sometimes you need to weigh the pros and cons. Okay.
No, it was a Yukon.
Okay.
Yukon.
Ooh,
Yes.
those are
They were
nice
nice.
too.
But she increased her monthly car payment instead of trying to pay it off, right? Again, like I said, for 18 years, I averaged my car payments. Again, some were $400-ish, some were $700-ish. I just took $500 a month, okay? And so for 18 years, at $500 a month, I sent Ford Motor Credit $108,000.
Ford.
Okay, I sent them $108,000. Right?
Pay my student loans.
Okay.
So tell me where those cars are at today.
In the pounds.
I don't know.
I was gonna say somebody else driving them.
Matter of fact, you're part of this story, right? So I bought a new truck. We were in Austin one day.
Is it the black truck with the fold-up seats?
No, not that one.
I
This
love
was first.
that truck.
That was my Ford Ranger with the jump seats, right?
That was so nice.
Should have kept it. You were down in Austin one time at a dance recital or something, and we came down there to hang out and see you.
Oh, I remember this. It was cheerleading.
Okay, cheerleading. Okay, so between the early show and the afternoon show, there was a bit of time. So I cruise on over to the Ford dealership and look at a truck. Ooh, I need that one, right? Because it's got 4-wheel drive, right? For all that winter weather we have here.
I was like, what does that even mean?
For all the off-roading that I do,
Yeah.
right? I needed that one, Walked out of there with a new truck payment. Why? Because I was stupid, right? Yeah. But I digress. But again, $108,000 in car payments. That's what I paid over those 18 years.
Okay.
So just depending on the number that you use, your rate of return on that investment. If I would have invested that money as opposed to continuing to buy new vehicles, right? By the time I reach retirement, those new cars could possibly cost me $1 million. Okay. So again, car payments are not evil, but this is what you want to do. If you do a car payment, pay the car off. Right? You get it for 3 or 4 years. You pay it off, then you drive it. You use that car, right? And then that money that you were paying on that car payment, pay yourself that car payment, right? So then that way you're building wealth and not building up that car company's wealth.
I forgot to do the
ongoing
second part.
payments, right? You forgot to do the second part?
I don't have a problem with
mean-
that. I'm gonna drive a car until the wheels fall out.
Till it won't
And
drive
never had an issue with that
anymore.
issue.
So,
Currently happening right now.
I do. I do think though, in our community, car notes are one of those things that keep us broke.
Yeah,
I really do.
because we keep let's say you owe, and then you go trade it in, and then they merge that.
And they roll
Left
that
over into your
they'll
next-
roll that negative equity into
Yeah.
the new car payment.
Yeah,
And
now
again, you're just
making a cycle, a cycle.
I've
of-
never understood that. Like,
Me neither.
that
wouldn't.
just don't make sense
didn't
to
make
me.
sense to me
Like,
either.
that don't sound like it's helping me.
Yeah, no,
So,
I never
but
had
yeah.
the issue with the cars.
Listen.
Yeah.
Again, they're not evil, but again, just notice that if you stay in car payment debt, again, it'll keep you broke.
This is a little off topic, but why do you think people do that?
For me, like I said, it was just
The new car smell.
the new
Yeah,
car smell.
yeah.
That little 5-year-old kid in me, the one that throws a tantrum in the cereal aisle because I want this, I need this. I think
That was
that
bad.
was my problem,
Okay.
right? Because again, when you growing up, we didn't have any new cars. I never rode in a new car as a kid, right? But
Now
now
you can.
I got a steady income, and so I tell myself I can afford it. Well, I can afford the payment, right? But could I really afford it? I really could. So that's probably why I did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's good. All right. I keep going. All right.
I like it.
This one I'm very excited. Oh, you know what? That leads to, okay, what if you are married or you're dating someone and y'all just happen to share finances, whatever that means. You are, and you want to go buy a car and you want to do that negative equity, but your spouse is like, no, that's not smart. Don't do that, blah, 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 blah. How should married couples be, just dealing with their money? Just give your
I'll
insight.
tell you. No, I'm just
Just give us your
It didn't end
insight.
well.
Like, what do you think works best? Because sometimes the husband, or typically probably it's the wife, maybe wants a little bit more flashiness, and then the husband's a little bit more, or vice versa. What are your thoughts on how couples should manage money together?
Yeah.
I just think about the fact that, first of all, if I'm a couple, then we're a couple. We're one. Okay, it should not be a his and a hers, right? This is our household. We have to run this household together.
Right.
That's Bible.
So I just think about the fact that
That's Bible.
the Bible tells us about being unequally yoked, right? We have to when we're our mates, especially when we're searching for that mate, we have to make sure that we have somewhat of the same mindset when it comes to those things, right? Yeah. And we have to be practical, right? Because at the end of the day, our spending plan.
You almost said it.
But our spending plan has to cover our needs and our wants and our savings, right? So again, we have a good car. It's in the driveway. It gets us back and forth to work every day, but we just want something new, right? We want something more flashy, right? I think we just have to sit down and really talk to one another, right? Have that open and honest communication about how this is going to affect our goals, right? What are the goals for the household? We want to save money, right? We want to have X amount of dollars in our 401k this year. If we do this, we're not going to be able to do that. And at the end of the day, y'all got to come to a decision on that. Now, as for me and mine, right?
Period.
We will serve the Lord.
We have a joint account. Okay. Or I should say we have a joint account. We have an account, right? Our paychecks go into that account. We take care of business out of that account, right? The things that I want to do, I talk to my wife about it. We spend that money. The things that she wants to do, we talk about it. We spend the money, right? Because again, we are on the same page as to where we want to go. Right? And so again, as for me and mine, that's what we do. So you have to figure out what works in your household.
Yeah.
But I will just say this, people that sit in my office that don't have any kind of understanding or agreement on money, there's a lot of stress in that household, right? And so being on the same page to me releases some of that stress.
Ooh, we want to be stress free.
Yeah.
We got enough stuff to worry about.
That's good.
We don't want to worry about that.
No, that's really good. Okay, and then lastly, now this is what I've really, really wanted to talk about because for some reason, retirement, even though I am nowhere near anybody's retirement age, but retirement has been such a big conversation amongst the millennial realm that I'm in, I guess. And so just thinking of the different options to take outside of whatever your job offers for retirement, what other steps should we be taking to kind of maximize, when we make it to that age and we want to live our best life or live the same type of life we lived while we were working? What are what other options should we consider outside of what we receive through work?
Sure.
Or if we work for ourselves.
Right.
What should we?
So first of all, you have to think about this. When you think about retirement, again, sometimes we think that's a long way off, but again, time flies. Right? So I like to boil it down to the fact that currently, if you work for yourself, you're self-employed, you provide yourself a paycheck. If you work for someone else, they provide you a paycheck. At some point in time, you may not want to do what you're doing, right? Either you're not going to want to do that anymore, or your body will not allow you to do that anymore. So you have to ask yourself the question, where will I get that paycheck from then? Right? So how do we get that paycheck in the future? So most people hear of a 401k because that's provided through their employer. 401k, maybe a 403b, right? Those things are through your employer. And those are great savings vehicles because a lot of times the employer will provide some kind of a match. Okay. So let's just say let's assume they will provide a 3% match. Right. So they tell you, if you put in 3%, I will put in 3%. Right. There is no investment in the world that you're going to double your money like that. Right. So if your employer offers that, get involved. Now you can do a lot more than 3%. There's a cap, there's a maximum that you can put in there. You don't have to stop at 3% though, right? But again, if you put in 3%, they put in 3%. That is free money. Right? Okay. So being involved in the 401k at work, maybe they even also do a profit share. Right. So being involved in a 401k at work is a really good tool to use. But even if you don't have a 401k, if you're a solo entrepreneur, you can do a solo 401k, or you can do a SEP IRA. Okay. So those things are not necessarily tied through an employer. You can do that on your own. There are, and if you don't want to do a SEP IRA, then you could just do a traditional IRA. Or a Roth IRA. And I'll just real quickly, the difference between the two is that on one of those traditional, I get to put off paying taxes till I get to retirement age, right? Which is 59 and a half. I can put off paying those taxes.
But you got to pay them eventually.
You got to pay them. So, you got to pay them. Now, the Roth, on the other hand, I'm going to pay those taxes today, and that money's going to grow tax-free from here on out.
Is that the same for a 403b? No.
Well, again, you could have in the 401k or in the 403b, a lot of companies or employers will provide a Roth option.
Okay.
So you can do your part in the 403b or the 401k as the Roth option. Now, do you know what Roth stands for?
No.
People think it's an acronym.
I thought it was an acronym.
I thought it was like a shortened name for something else.
I thought it was an acronym.
So the senator that sponsored the bill, that's his last name.
Roth.
How he just get it named after him?
He sponsored the bill.
Did they vote on this?
They don't do that no more.
So those are some of the areas that you can invest in, right? And again, we say that, a lot of people say, I invest in my 401k, but again, we don't invest in the 401k. It's the tax treatment. The 401k has a certain tax treatment. The Roth IRA has a certain tax treatment. The traditional IRA has a certain tax treatment, right? So once we invest in those things, then we get into what we call mutual funds. That's the actual investment within it. Okay.
Tune into the previous episode because we talked about mutual funds.
Yes,
we sure did.
Terminology.
But yeah, so those things are available. And even if let's just say, for instance, you maxed out your 401k at work, you maxed out a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA, you still can invest. It just doesn't have the tax protection over it. You're just gonna get taxed on that as you go, as it grows. Yeah.
Okay.
Why are we maxing out our 401k? Why is the guidance to max it out?
Okay, so again, I think about the fact that replacing my paycheck when I don't go to work anymore.
Okay.
How do I do that? Now, currently, like I said, I think that for this tax year, a person can put $24,500 into that 401k. Okay, or if you just had a traditional or Roth IRA, that number is $7,500. Right. So again, the more you save, the more you're going to have. Right. And so again, we talked about those goals a little bit. How much money do I need in retirement? Or how much do I want in retirement? Right. And so the more I put in there, the more I'll have when I get to retirement. So again, that's the goal, to max it out. But if you can't do that, do what you can. Right. If that's $1,000, if that's a month, then do that. Right. Again, if it's half that, do as much as you can. Right. Because again, every little bit helps along the way. So
this is opinion based. I just want to know your opinion on this. The people that say, because we got some crazy millennials. It's probably the millennials saying this crazy stuff. Why am I saving and I don't know if I'm gonna make it to retirement? Why am I saving all my money and I don't know if I'm gonna make it to 62? What is our rebuttal there? I guess you could say, yeah, you're right, but when you do, you're gonna be broke.
That's true.
That could be your response, but what would your
no, we don't like politically correct.
No, I was about to say your couth response be mine is uncouth.
Like I said, let's just drive by some of these houses that we see in certain neighborhoods when they're this big and it's summertime and they're hot because they got the windows open and they ain't got no air, right?
Yeah, you don't want to be hot.
Do you want to be that? Do you want to be that person, right? Because here's the deal. With modern medicine, we're living longer, right? So I'm planning, when I'm talking to clients, I'm planning on them living to 90. Right? Because again, if you don't make it that far, right, then your kids are fine, right? Because they got the money that you say, right? But if you do make it that far,
then what?
You're stuck out. Right?
Oh, I like that point. Your kids. I didn't think that's a good part. Okay, let me add that to my rebuttal.
Yeah, stop being selfish,
At least your kids will get something if you happen to head on out early. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
That's good. That's good. I love that. Excellent. Before we wrap up, any tidbits or any just quick little gems that you want to leave our audience with?
I was thinking about this, and just one thing that I always think about is the fact that they didn't tell me that I could retire as a millionaire. Nobody ever told me that. But it's possible. It's possible through saving and investing consistently. It is possible. I see it, in my office every day. People that started out with a little now have $1 million or $2 million or $3 million. So it's possible. That's one thing that I want to leave people with.
Yeah, it's possible.
Like Jenny from the block.
It's going to be
She
us.
said, used to have a little, now I have a lot. The Bronx.
That's going to be you and I, Mariah.
Yes, we got to save more so we can take more vacations.
Right, and then when we come back to the pod in 30 years...
don't say we didn't tell y'all.
We're going to say we're millionaires, all because of this episode that we had with Mr. Demond Oliver.
With Uncle Rupert Demond Oliver.
Yes. All righty. Well, I believe there was something you wanted to end with.
We already did that.
Okay, we already did that. Love it.
But thank you so much for being here. You drove all the way across the world from Bryan to be here with us in Houston.
Yes.
For my favorite niece.
Favorite, period. Yes.
We really appreciate you. These
Thank
are
y'all for having
so
me.
helpful. So helpful. And like you all know, the point of our pod is to bring people on or to bring conversations about things that particularly millennials don't know, but anyone that's listening that you may have learned in this conversation. And so hopefully we were able to do that in today's episode. And with that, sometimes we get rocked.
And other times we rock
I
it.
said it backwards, huh? But either way, we rockin'. Toodles.
See y'all next time.